My young friends, it is the statement of Abdul Kalam, who said that the youth can actually transform India. My guru, Dada J.P. Vaswani, always said that the future of India lies in the hands of the youth. All this concentration keeps us to say, what is it that the young people must do? They must keep their minds wide open to change, to new things, and all the things that we will have to learn in order to bring about that transformation in our minds. What is it that Abdul Kalam's story tells us? Coming from a poor family, studying his engineering, a Muslim gentleman who was appointed by the BJP as the President of India, who was the missile man of India, kept his mind always open. When he had to do the missiles, he was told that the budget for his missile is only 10% of what NASA had spent. Did he hesitate? Did he think again? No. Even with all his limitations, he went right ahead because he kept his mind wide open. I remember the visit that I did with Mr. Mukesh Ambani when he was going to Jamnagar, and there was a cyclone. It hit the construction of Jamnagar factories, and there was a devastation. Was there a hesitation because of the problems that he had? None whatsoever. All the devastation apart, within 30 days, everything was put back to normal and the factory was completed on time. That is the difference when you keep your mind wide open. Young people, let me tell you, Indians have ruled all over the world. They have today, when you go to America, the advantage is that the CEO of IBM is Arvind Krishnan, an Indian origin person. CEO of Google is Sundar Pichai, again an Indian. CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, also Indian origin. And the CEO of Adobe, Shantanu Narayan. All people who came from ordinary backgrounds in India originally and achieved the highest positions in the United States of America in the topmost companies. So, what is it? Is your background important? Is your educational center important? Is what you are doing important? Or what is it that you do? All of them kept their minds wide open to new ideas, new thoughts, and changes that needed to take place. It didn't matter what background they came from, or where they lived, or how it was, or what was the affordability of the factory. But what they had was an aspiration, a goal, an idea that they would reach to higher limits, much higher limits. Wanted to have positive thoughts at all points of time. Never say die. Never felt that they would not achieve what they wanted to do. So they read and did and took risks which were difficult to do, naturally, because they aspired for much higher goals. But did any one of them hesitate about what they were doing? Never. Did they ever feel that they needed to pull back from that position? Not whatsoever. Did they actually have setbacks? Of course they did. So what is it that actually made this wonderful change for them to reach the aspiration that they desired to do? One was that keeping the aspiration in firm, they disciplined themselves to see that the daily tasks that they did meant one more step towards reaching that goal that they aspired for. Never hesitated on that. even when they fell back or what. In fact, every time they had a setback, and I'm talking about all of them, which we have talked about today, they learned from their setbacks. What is it that went wrong? What is it that they needed to do differently? What is it that they made a mistake about? Got up again and tried again in order to see that their goals and aspirations will down. Did Abdul Kalam fail in many of the missile rockets which were fired? Of course they did. But that was not the end of it. Ultimately, he went on and on and on, figured out his mistakes and made him the designated missile man of India. This is what we need to learn from all these great leaders. Another common factor among all these people who keep their minds wide open is that they are very humble. They want to learn. They want to learn from people of all ages. From the people on the ground to reading autobiographies of big people, to ideas which can come from any side and position, all of them did it. Another factor which they were common to most of them that I'm talking about is that they work harder than the rest. When people want to sleep, these people continued to work because they never felt that it was enough to do what it is, because they always aspired to do that little more, that do that much more, to do much more than anybody else, and they never went backwards for this part. The second, which I really noticed among all these people, is the fact that they were always dissatisfied with success. What do I mean by that? How can you be dissatisfied? It's because every time they reached a goal, they had already set up a new goal for themselves. So, while they did get a sense of happiness with whatever they achieved at that goal, they never thought that that was the pinnacle of success. So, from hill to hill to hill to mountain tops, to the top of the highest mountain in the world, each one of them moved ahead in order to move on the goal. So, what is it that we really need to do, young friends? All these great leaders, you can be one of them in the future. What you have to do is focus on a vision, an aspiration, a goal. Go ahead with determination. Never worry about the setbacks that you have or the qualification that you do not have to achieve that goal, or the fact that somebody else has more resources. It didn't bother any one of them who have achieved the goals that we talked about. So, I'm certain that my young friends, you will also have a vision, an aspiration. You will also work hard in order to do this, and you will achieve and be one day a great person who will have achieved the vision which you aspire for. I wish you and every one of you, the youth of India, great success in order to achieve the impossible.